Flexion. Ladies and gentlemen, there are forces in this world that work in the light and forces that operate in the dark. Not every enemy attacks you with a sword. Some attack your mind. Flexion. Some attack your spirit. Some attack your peace. There are people who don't fight you with words. They fight you with energy, intention, and hidden hands. Today, I'm here to tell you this. Reflection. No spell has power over a strong spirit. No curse can stop a chosen soul. And no darkness can win against a person who walks in truth. Reflection. You must learn the signs. You must recognize the attack. And when you see it, you must stand up, and declare, my life is not yours to control. Flexion. My destiny is not yours to destroy. I am protected. Here are the 7 signs someone may be working witchcraft or dark intentions against you. Flexion. And how to reclaim your power. When someone is doing witchcraft or targeting your energy, reflection. The first thing you will notice, sometimes without even realizing it, is that your own energy starts to feel heavy. You wake up in the morning and instead of feeling refreshed, you feel drained. Reflection. Tired and weighed down by a force you cannot identify. You go through your day, and even small tasks that used to energize you now feel like climbing a mountain. Reflection. There is a subtle but unmistakable sense of heaviness in your body, in your thoughts, and even in the way you breathe. Your mind may feel foggy. Your emotions may swing violently. Flexion. And a general sense of unease settles over you like a cloud. You might notice that people around you suddenly irritate you more than usual. Reflection. Or that minor frustrations feel magnified and unbearable. It is as though your internal battery is being drained by an invisible hand, leaving you vulnerable to anxiety, doubt, and fear. Reflection. This heaviness is not merely physical fatigue. It's an energetic weight, a spiritual anchor designed to sap your willpower and cloud your judgment. You may find yourself procrastinating, flexion, losing motivation, or struggling to make decisions that once came easily. Everyday joys and pleasures might feel muted or distant, as if a shadow is lying over your life. Flexion, dulling your natural spark. And the strangest part is it comes without an apparent cause, no illness, no major life problem, no clear reason, just a deep, persistent sense of being off balance. Reflection, as if someone or something is interfering with your ability to live freely and fully. Recognizing this heaviness is the first step to reclaiming your energy, because once you identify it, flexion, you can take active steps to cleanse your space, shield your spirit, and fortify your mind against the invisible forces that seek to weigh you down. Reflection. When someone is directing dark energy or witchcraft toward you, your nights may start to feel like a battlefield. Sleep, which should be your sanctuary, begins to betray you. Reflection. You might find yourself tossing and turning, waking up repeatedly in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat or gripped by fear. Nightmares become intense and frequent. Reflection. But they are not just ordinary dreams. They are charged with a strange sense of urgency, terror, or despair that lingers long after you wake. You might dream of being chased, trapped, reflection, or attacked, and the fear in these dreams feels so real that it follows you into your waking hours. Sometimes you wake up and feel a presence in the room, a heavy flexion, oppressive energy that makes it hard to move or think clearly. Your sleep feels fragmented, shallow, and unrefreshing, leaving you exhausted even after hours in bed. You may notice a patterns, flexion. Certain nights are worse than others, or specific dreams repeat themselves with subtle variations, as if someone is trying to send a message or weaken your resolve while you are most vulnerable. Flexion. This is more than coincidence. This is a targeted attempt to invade your subconscious and weaken your spiritual defenses. As your body craves rest but cannot find peace, your mind begins to fray. Reflection, your emotions become unstable, and your spirit feels exposed. Anxiety creeps in, sometimes for no logical reason, and fear becomes a constant companion. Flexion, subtly guiding your decisions during the day. Recognizing these attacks in your sleep is critical. Reflection, because once you understand that these disturbances are not merely bad dreams, but a form of spiritual interference, you can take steps to protect yourself. Rituals of cleansing, protection, flexion, and grounding become necessary, and the awareness that your rest is under siege empowers you to reclaim your nights and restore the sanctuary of your mind, body, and spirit. Reflection. When someone is directing dark intentions, envy, or witchcraft toward your life, one of the most alarming signs is the sudden streak of bad luck that defies logic. You start noticing that everything which should go right goes wrong, plans collapse at the last minute, opportunities slip through your fingers. Reflection. And doors that were wide open yesterday are slammed shut today for reasons no one can explain. It feels like life is moving against you, not with you. You apply for jobs you're qualified for, flexion, but get rejected without cause. Money that was supposed to arrive gets delayed, lost, or blocked. Devices break. Cars malfunction. Agreements fall apart. You lose things you never misplaced, flexion. Even your timing, once sharp and in sync with life, starts missing by seconds and inches. And what makes this attack so suffocating is that it comes in a cluster, one hit after another, reflection wave after wave, giving you no break, no space to breathe. In these moments, you start questioning yourself. You wonder what you're doing wrong. You doubt your decisions, reflection. You blame your work ethic, your timing, your faith, your intelligence. But deep down, something feels off. It doesn't feel like natural misfortune. It feels engineered, targeted, intentional, reflection. You try harder, push harder, think smarter, yet the outcome stays the same. It's like you're walking on a floor that keeps collapsing right under your feet, no matter where you step. Reflection. This is what dark energy aims to do. It tries to exhaust you, discourage you, and make you surrender your dreams by wearing down your spirit. If your mind collapses, your life follows. Reflection. And the ones who use spiritual attacks know that. This kind of invisible sabotage is dangerous because it makes you believe you're powerless. Reflection. It tries to convince you that nothing you do will ever work. But recognizing the pattern is the beginning of breaking it. When bad luck multiplies without cause, reflection. When setbacks repeat without reason, when obstacles appear out of thin air, it is not life rejecting you. It is negative intention trying to redirect you away from your purpose. Reflection. Becoming aware of this pattern allows you to take your power back. Reflection. To stop accepting every failure as fate. And to start pushing back against the energy that is trying to shape your reality without your permission. Reflection. When someone is working against you spiritually or energetically, one of the most disturbing experiences is the feeling that your emotions, your thoughts, reflection, and even your reactions are no longer fully your own. You wake up and without any real cause, you feel irritated, angry, depressed, or anxious. Reflection. It's as if a dark cloud attaches itself to you and follows you everywhere you go. You could be in a peaceful environment, nothing bad happening around you, yet inside you feel tension, pressure, reflection, or emotional exhaustion that you can't justify. Your moods swing faster than you can control, and the smallest inconvenience triggers an emotion far bigger than the moment. Reflection. This is how spiritual interference works. It hijacks your inner world, because if it can control your emotions, it can eventually control your actions, your decisions, and your direction in life. Reflection. This attack also brings a strange sensation of being watched, even when you are alone. You might feel eyes on you or a presence lingering in the room, especially during quiet moments. Reflection, you start questioning yourself, looking over your shoulder, checking corners, sensing movement in silence. Your spirit becomes restless. Tasks that once brought you joy now feel empty. Reflection, conversations feel draining. You withdraw from people because your own energy is too weak to handle theirs. Over time, you begin to lose enthusiasm for the things you once loved. Reflection, your thoughts get heavier, more negative, more hopeless. You find yourself replaying doubts in your mind, imagining worst-case scenarios, or feeling unworthy without any valid reason. Reflection, this is how dark intention operates. It tries to isolate your spirit, poison your mindset, and drag down your vibration until you no longer have the strength to fight back. And then, reflection, there is the deepest layer of this attack, the silence. You don't talk about it because you can't explain it. You feel something is wrong, but you have no proof. Reflection. You're not sick, but you're not well. You're not broken, but you're not whole. You look fine on the outside, yet inside you're battling a weight no one can see. Reflection. This is where many people lose themselves because they assume this emotional hijacking is just stress or moodiness or weakness, when in reality it is targeted interference. Reflection. The goal of that energy is to make you doubt your power, disconnect from your intuition, and slowly surrender your spirit. Reflection. But the moment you recognize that these feelings are not naturally yours, that they are being pushed onto you, you begin to wake up. Awareness becomes your first act of resistance. Reflection. Because once you can identify the enemy, you can begin to remove its influence from your life. When dark intentions or spiritual attacks are aimed at you, reflection. One of the clearest and most painful signs is when the people in your life begin to turn against you for no logical reason. Individuals who once supported you, laughed with you, reflection, and trusted you suddenly become distant, cold, or suspicious. Conversations shift, their tone changes. Their eyes don't look at you the same way. You hear less from them, or when you do, reflection, something feels off, forced, tense, or strangely negative. Misunderstandings appear out of nowhere. Small disagreements instantly become major arguments. Reflection. You start noticing that people are reacting to you based on assumptions and emotions that don't match your reality, as if someone has been whispering in their spirit, reshaping how they see you. Reflection. What's really happening is an energetic attack that aims to isolate you, because isolation weakens the mind and breaks the spirit faster than anything else. Then come the lies, the rumors, reflection, and the sudden shifts in loyalty. People you never harmed or crossed begin to judge you, avoid you, or turn cold without ever giving you a reason. You feel betrayed, confused, and hurt. Reflection, because you don't understand what changed. One day they are beside you, and the next they treat you like a stranger or an enemy. It leaves you asking questions. Why are they acting like this? Reflection. What did I do? How did things flip so fast? This psychological and spiritual isolation is not accidental. It is strategic. When someone cannot defeat you directly, reflection, they will try to cut off your support system, because a person surrounded by love, clarity, and community is harder to break. But a person who feels alone, misunderstood, cornered, reflection, and unsupported is much easier to control, manipulate, or destroy. The saddest part is that it almost never looks supernatural. It looks personal. It looks emotional. Reflection. It looks like how your fault. That's what makes it effective. Darkness works through influence, suggestion, miscommunication, and emotional distortion. It plants quiet seeds, jealousy, doubt, reflection, anger, insecurity inside the people around you. It wants to make you question yourself, distrust others, and ultimately close your heart. Because once your heart closes, reflection, you no longer receive love, support, or connection, the very energy that strengthens your spirit and keeps you aligned with your higher path. Reflection. But there comes a moment when you must recognize the pattern, when multiple people change at the same time, without reason, and all in the same direction. Flexion. That is not coincidence. That is influence. And recognizing that influence is how you stop it from breaking you. When someone is working witchcraft or directing dark intentions toward your life. Flexion. One of the most unsettling signs is the sudden appearance of strange objects or the mysterious disappearance of your own belongings. You start finding things that don't belong to you. Reflection, items placed in odd, hidden or symbolic locations, threads tied in knots, feathers that seem out of place, powders, jars, ashes, dolls, pins, coins. Reflection, or personal items that should never be outside their normal space. Sometimes they show up near your doorway, under your bed, inside your car, in your closet. Reflection, or around the spots where you sleep or spend the most time. These objects are not random. They are planted. They are meant to create a spiritual link, a channel of influence, reflection, or a point of access to your energy. You feel it the moment you see them because your spirit reacts before your mind can explain it. A chill runs through you. A discomfort stirs in your chest. Reflection, and your instincts whisper, this doesn't belong here. Something is wrong. That internal alarm is real. Flexion. Your intuition is responding to an energetic fingerprint that was left behind with intention. Just as disturbing as the other side of this attack. When your own belongings begin to vanish. Flexion. Something personal goes missing. Jewelry, hairbrushes, clothing, photos, keys, rings, gifts, letters, or sentimental pieces that carry your emotional or spiritual imprint. Reflection. These are often items connected to your identity, your history, or your daily energy. You look everywhere, retrace your steps, and still can't find them. Reflection. They don't feel lost, they feel taken. And spiritually, that's the point. Dark practitioners believe that if they can possess something that carries your essence, your hair, reflection, your handwriting, your scent, your memories, they can influence you from a distance. It's not about the physical object. It's about the energetic connection tied to it. Reflection. Once that link is established, they try to manipulate your emotions, disrupt your plans, weaken your spirit, or invade your dreams, all without ever standing in front of you. Reflection. You begin to feel violated, unsafe, and unsettled, as if someone has crossed a line you can't fully see but can absolutely feel. Over time, this creates psychological and emotional pressure. Reflection. You may start second-guessing yourself, wondering if you misplaced things, imagining coincidences, or questioning your own awareness. That confusion is part of the attack. Reflection. The goal is not just to place or remove objects. It's to destabilize your sense of security, to make you feel watched, invaded, and spiritually exposed. Flexion. Because once a person starts to doubt their environment, they begin to doubt themselves. And when they begin to doubt themselves, they become easier to manipulate and weaken. Flexion. But make no mistake, these objects and disappearances are not harmless. They are messages. They are signatures. They are evidence of interference. Reflection. And the moment you stop dismissing them as random, you begin reclaiming your authority over your space, your spirit, and your life. Reflection. One of the strongest and most undeniable signs that someone is working against you spiritually is the voice of your own intuition. Long before the chaos shows up in your life, reflection. Long before the nightmares, the isolation, or the bad luck, your spirit whispers warnings that your mind cannot yet explain. You feel it in your chest, in your gut. Reflection. In the silence of your thoughts, something feels off. You sense an invisible shift, a presence that doesn't belong, an energy that doesn't match your environment. Reflection. You can be sitting in a peaceful room, surrounded by normal life, yet something inside you is restless and alert. as if your spirit is standing guard against a threat you cannot see. Reflection, you begin to notice patterns. Certain people drain you, certain places feel heavy, certain conversations leave you uneasy, and certain faces suddenly carry a darkness you never noticed before. Reflection, you can't point to anything physical, but you know this knowing is not imagination. It is not anxiety. It is your spiritual alarm system activated and warning you. Your body reacts too. Reflection, your sleep changes. Your appetite shifts. Your heart becomes more sensitive to energy. You walk into a room and instantly feel whether the atmosphere is safe or hostile. Reflection, you hear someone's voice and can tell if their intentions are clean or corrupted. Your spirit becomes hyper-aware, scanning every moment for what the eyes cannot see. Reflection, you might experience random chills, sudden pressure on your chest, or bursts of emotion that feel foreign. Reflection, you might find yourself pulling away from certain people or environments without understanding why. This is your inner guidance trying to protect you. Reflection, trying to steer you away from the source of the attack. You question whether you're overthinking, but every time you ignore your intuition, something goes wrong. Reflection, every time you dismiss the warning, consequences follow. That is how you know it is real, because your spirit is recognizing the threat before it fully manifests in your physical reality. Reflection, and this is the moment where most people either break or awaken. Those who break doubt themselves, ignore their inner voice, and slowly surrender their power. Reflection, those who awaken learn to trust that voice, not sometimes, not occasionally, but fully. Because intuition is the one territory darkness cannot easily infiltrate. Witchcraft can manipulate people. Reflection, it can influence emotions, dreams, opportunities, and energy, but it struggles to silence a spirit that is fully awake. Your intuition is your shield, your compass. Reflection, and your earliest warning signal. It reveals what words don't say. It exposes what eyes can't see. It identifies the enemy before their mask falls off. Reflection, when you sense that something is wrong and you can't explain it, that is not confusion, that is clarity. That is your spirit telling you that an unseen battle is unfolding. Reflection, and that you must stay alert, stay aware, and stay aligned with your inner truth, because intuition never lies. Reflection, the moment you realize you are under spiritual attack is the moment you must take your power back, not by reacting in fear, not by panicking, and not by surrendering. Reflection, but by standing firm in your spirit and declaring that you will not be controlled. Darkness feeds on weakness, on silence, on confusion, and on self-doubt. Reflection, it wants you to believe you are powerless, unprotected, and alone. But the truth is no curse, no spell, and no dark intention can dominate a soul that chooses to rise, resist. Reflection, and reclaim its light. Breaking free begins with a decision to reject every energy that does not belong to you, to cleanse what has attached itself to your life, and to affirm. Reflection, with unwavering conviction that your mind, your body, and your spirit are off limits to anything and anyone that wishes you harm. This is not just a mental shift, it is a spiritual stance. Reflection, you are drawing a line in the sand and saying, no more. Not here, not with me, boss. Cleansing your spirit starts with reclaiming your inner world. You must speak life over yourself. Reflection, because words hold power. The same way negativity can be planted through speech, intention, and energy, you can uproot it through affirmation, prayer, meditation, declaration. Reflection, and spiritual discipline. Clean your thoughts, clean your space, clean your energy. Remove objects that feel wrong. Disconnect from people who carry chaos. Reset the atmosphere of your home. Reflection, open windows, let light in, burn incense, read scripture, meditate, pray, or speak protection over your environment. Whatever your spiritual foundation is, stand on it. Connect with it. Reflection, strengthen it. Because you cannot fight spiritual attacks with a spiritually empty life. You must align yourself with something greater than the darkness you are facing. And when you do reflection, you become untouchable, not because the attack disappears overnight, but because your spirit becomes too strong to bend, break, or be controlled. Reflection, the final step, is to walk forward with confidence. Not fear is the doorway darkness needs. Confidence is the shield that blocks it. Once you break the influence, reflection, once you cleanse your space and fortify your spirit, you must live in a posture of protection. Guard your energy. Be selective with who you allow near your life. Reflection, pay attention to shifts in your spirit. Trust your intuition the first time. Move with awareness, speak with authority, and carry yourself as someone who knows they are protected, chosen. Reflection, and guided. Because freedom is not a moment, it is a mindset. It is a daily choice to stay aligned with the light, to refuse the pull of darkness, and to command your life with intention, strength, and spiritual clarity. When you reclaim your power, the attacks lose their grip, the fear loses its voice, and the enemy loses its access. You don't just survive, you rise. Reflection, you rebuild, and you walk forward unbreakable. Here is a God's powerful ending in the same tone and energy as the rest of your speech. In the end, you must remember this. Flexion. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not the one around you, but the one within you. Reflection. Darkness does not need permission to knock at your door, but it does need your surrender to enter your life. And today you choose not to surrender. Today you choose strength over fear, flexion, clarity over confusion, and faith over every shadow that tried to break you. Stand tall, stand rooted, stand awake. Reflection. You are not a victim of spiritual attacks. You are the warrior who has recognized the battlefield. No force of witchcraft, jealousy, hatred, flexion, or hidden intention can defeat a spirit that refuses to bow. You are protected. You are guided. You are untouchable when you walk in your light and guard your soul with truth. Reflection. So move forward with confidence, with awareness, and with power. Walk with your head high, your heart steady, and your spirit unshakable. Because the moment you awaken to who you really are, flexion, every curse collapses, every spell loses power, and every enemy is forced to face a reality they never wanted to see. You cannot be controlled. You cannot be broken. Flexion, now go. Live your life unafraid, undefeated, and unbound. The chains are gone. The attack is over, and your spirit walks in victory.